What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video, as I promised, I am going to be reviewing the sequel to Machete, the 2013 Machete Kills film. This is also directed by Robert Rodriguez, and it is the direct sequel to Machete, of course, and it definitely is. It's something else, just like the first movie, for sure. And without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So, this is the return of Machete Cortez, played by Danny Trejo yet again. He reprises his role. Machete is recruited by the U.S. government to stop this weapons dealer, this mad weapons dealer, this evil mad weapons dealer, from destroying other nations and things like that, destroying the world so that he can recreate a new population and things like that. This is kind of an evil plot that's been done before, absolutely, but it definitely has been done before, but it's definitely interesting in this type of film. So that basically is what the film is about. They have to stop him, and they have to stop another guy as well. A revolutionary, as a matter of fact. A mad revolutionary. So they gotta kind of stop him as well. Is he good or is he bad? I actually don't really quite know. I mean, I think he's mainly a bad guy, though. The villain. One of the villains in the film. But the evil mad weapons dealer is definitely a bad guy. So, that's pretty much the major plot points of the film. Pretty much. So, you have Danny Trejo returning as Machete Cortez. Michelle Rodriguez returns as She. And they're really the big. Jessica Alba only appears at the beginning of the film. She does reprise her role, but it's a very small role compared to the first film. And then that's where it all ends. Because there are a lot of acting talent. There's a lot of acting talent that is brought in this film. Mel Gibson, one of my favorite actors of all time, plays Luther Vaz, who is the ruthless arms dealer. He is the villain. Sofia Vergara plays Madame Desdemona. Sofia Vergara, one of the hottest women in the world. One of the hottest women in the world nobody talks about, Amber Heard, plays Blanca Vasquez / Miss San Antonio, a villain in the film. Charlie Sheen plays, and this is a great name, President Rathcock. You can't go wrong with that. It's definitely something definitely a character Charlie Sheen would play. He is in this film. Cuba Gooding Jr. as a version of the Chameleon, who is a villain, a mercenary, or a hired assassin in this film. Is an assassin. Lady Gaga is in this film. Antonio Banderas. Alexa Vega is in the film. Vanessa Hudgens. So yeah, basically those are pretty much the major players. William Sadler plays a sheriff in this film. Demian Bashir plays one of the other villains in the film, Marcos Mendez. So, yeah, those are pretty much the major people in the film. So, so how the characters did. Once again, Danny Trejo was very good. I mean, the character of Machete Cortez is just a character that fits him to a T. Michelle Rodriguez does a very good job in the film. Mel Gibson. This was one of the films that Mel Gibson made during his comeback. Of course, there was all the controversy about him calling out Jewish people and things like that, and him basically being a real asshole. He comes back in this film and he does a great job. He's one of the highlights of the film, Mel Gibson is. Sofia Vergara, she does a good job with what she plays. She plays a prostitute, a head prostitute. And there is a choice of weapons that she uses in the film. I'm not going to give it away, but they're just hilarious. I mean, you gotta watch it because of that. Mainly because of that, because it's just like, wow. Wow. Amber Heard does a very good job in the film. She's one of the highlights to me of this film. Charlie Sheen, a very small role, very brief role, few scenes. He does a really good job in the film. I mean, here's another guy who's looking for a comeback. And I think he does a very good job in the film. With what she had as a role, Lady Gaga did a pretty good job. Antonio Banderas does a good job. Cuba Gooding Jr., pretty good job. Jessica Alba with her really brief role at the beginning is pretty good. Vanessa Hudgens, former Disney star, has a very brief role. It's actually pretty decent. Alexa Vega. Actually, you may know Alexa Vega better as one of the Spy Kids in the Spy Kids franchise. Alexa Vega, all I have to say is Alexa Vega is very much grown up in this movie. She is, oh my god, unbelievably gorgeous. She grew up, and she grew up in a big way. Don't believe me? Watch this film. If you don't believe me, watch this film. You will then believe it. There are great performances all around. There is truly no performance in this film that I didn't hate any of the performances. I really didn't. They were very good, very solid. So, what I thought of the film, it was better than Machete. It was better than the first film. And I say that a lot for sequels and things like that. I think the sequels are better than the originals. In this case, Machete Kills is better than the first movie. And I think it's better than the first movie because you have the addition of all that acting talent that just adds to the film. It really does. It really adds to this film. And because of that acting talent, the film just elevates over the first one, in my opinion. A lot of people would think the opposite. That the first movie was better than the second, but I'm the exact opposite. I really do think the second was better than the first. Because of all that star power that was added on to the second film. The reception of it, compared to a 72% rating for the first Machete movie, Machete Kills got a 29% rating. So not a very good rating for the sequel. But still, I mean, sequels normally are not as good as the original in critics' eyes. But this film is so damn good. It really is so enjoyable. It's a lot of what Machete was, only it goes up a notch. The violence, the action, the blood, the violence, the gore, the action, it is all there in Machete Kills. It is another great B movie. It really is. This film disappointed on a budget of $20 million. They almost doubled their budget from the first movie. but they only made a little over 15 million. So they lost money on this film, which is unfortunate because in my eyes, this film can do no wrong. This was better than the original. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. And I'm definitely saying, even though I'm giving both of them 5 out of 5 stars, again, this one, Machete Kills, is better than the first Machete film. So, I mean, I kind of want to... I guess I'll add this. Sofia Vergara in this film, she plays a very good character. She has just the weapons in her arsenal are just so freaking hilarious. I mean, I laugh out loud. I totally laughed out loud. These are just great weapons. All the ridiculousness and stupidity of the first Machete film is in this second film. There's no doubt about it. And the stakes are higher in this second film as opposed to the first one. That's definitely a true thing. So, as for another Machete film, we're going to be getting another Machete film. I just don't know when it's going to be. So, the sequel. This is going to be a trilogy. The second film, the end of the film, I'm not going to give it away, but the end of the film definitely warrants another movie, another sequel. We're going to get another sequel. I just don't know what it's going to be. The sequel's name is Machete Kills Again in Space. So this is going to be a space movie, a cheesy knockoff of Space. And things like that, but I can't wait for this movie. I am there whenever it comes out in theaters. I am so there. And I just can't wait, period. I love these Machete movies. They're so awesome. So I definitely would recommend both of them to you guys. I mean, they definitely, if you're old enough and if you can handle all that blood, violence, and gore and action, if you can do that, I definitely recommend it. They are such good films. They're dumb films, but they're such good. They're a lot of fun to have. I have a lot of fun with these films, definitely. I've watched each of them a couple of times, too, so I've had fun with them a couple of times each. So that is it for this video on Machete Kills. D-Rock 1992 out.